Hello guys, it's been a while and today is something totally different. We're gonna plant some bamboo and here's one that I prepared earlier. Now what you can see here is a mixture of a swale and hugel culture or hugel culture, and what I have been doing throughout my property is I've been whenever I've been cutting trees, I've been lying them down along contour lines, and then when I'm planting stuff I dig a little trench on the uphill side of that and then mound the soil on top of all that wood, which will then rot. So another thing which I've got to mention, because it's become one of my issues now in the last few months. So when you bury a lot of organic matter in the soil, especially when it's got a lot of woody stuff, then you get something we call a nitrogen drawdown. So you have to supply a lot of nitrogen to compensate for that. It's mainly the soil life that starts eating all the carbon, and then for the energy requirements, and when they start multiplying, then they need nitrogen for their, for protein, to build their bodies, and then they take that nitrogen out of the soil and they start competing with the plants. So I will put a very big amount of chicken manure mixed with coffee scraps. That's one of my favorites. It's got high potassium. So when you buy a chicken manure based fertilizer, it usually doesn't have much potassium. So this is my secret mixture to have an organic source of potassium and then the nitrogen phosphorus that comes with the chicken manure. So then also we've got mulch on top, and I'm always very generous with mulch, especially because I don't have much organic matter in my soil, so I just want to fast track that. But again, the more woody pieces you put in the soil, like this stuff here that all came out of the acacias that I've got on my property, that's very hard wood, so it's quite, and it's mostly branches, so very high in carbon, very low in nitrogen. So anyway, so now the idea here is, I did notice I've actually planted some other bamboos over here. I'll just show you that. So I've got my whole boundary line planted out with bamboos, and they're all different species of giant bamboos. So you can already see what that looks like once it's mulched. It's a little bit hard to see because there's branches all around them. The reason I'm doing that is there's an animal here called a bandicoot, and when you put mulch on the ground, then the bandicoot's going to come and look for worms, and it does not get the idea that I want to keep those plants. So it just starts killing my plants. So I have to build a fortress of branches all around every plant I put in there. Scrub turkeys are surprisingly not that much of a problem here, but it would be the same issue. So anyway, so you see that there's a heap. I try to be on the contour here. Don't know if you can see that. So there's pretty much a berm, like a little swale, and then a depression behind it. And I've done that here as well, so there's another one there. It's another bamboo, and it's sitting in that swale, and I noticed that this one is actually drowning. So bamboo doesn't like waterlogging. So what I'm doing now, so you've seen the one up the top there, I've already had to cut half the leaves off because it's losing root mass on to rot. So this one, I've already learned the lesson. This one is actually planted halfway up the mound, and the lowest part is actually down there. So there's the water harvesting part is here, and the bamboo is proud of that above. And now next level, or like next iteration of the idea, is to produce a big trench, and then I just mount the middle part of that trench with the material that comes out of the trench, so that the bamboo is then sitting higher up, but it still gets its roots into the water, and in front of it is that berm that's pretty much branches covered in soil. So that's pretty much it. By the way, that's guadua bamboo. It's quite hard to get. It's a Mexican building bamboo. Also gets to like 12 or 15 centimeters in size. Quite a big one. And I think I'll leave you with that. So I hope you enjoyed that. A bit of an instructional video or something rather, where you can learn out of my mistakes in case this all doesn't work out. I'll keep you updated. Okay, see you another time.